Welcome to Jan's Views, a place where I share my views and listen to yours. Whether you are here for my artwork, live streams, shorts, or just for the giggles, please be assured I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you will enjoy your time here on my channel. I would be eternally grateful if you would give a like to the video, consider subscribing and, dare I ask, even become a member. So without further ado, let's do this.
Hello, see if you can spot me. I'm hiding in the picture. Anyway, how are you? Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. It's been milder today, so I'm a happy bunny. I've been out with my son tonight and I had cheesy chips and haddock. And I tell you what, it was delicious. Hi, Random Fish. Hope you're well. Hi, Barley. I hope you're well, darling. So, how have you all been? What have you been up to? Where's Edna? And more to the point, where's Kate? Where is Kate? Who cares? I couldn't give a monkeys. I really couldn't give a monkeys. But that's what's going on Twitter. Did you see my latest? Okay, you've got to find. Okay, Barley, you've got to find me in the picture. Where am I? I'm in there, hiding. There's always so much going on in my pictures that it's difficult to see where I am. So see if you can find me in there. I like to play these little games. We need to have another games evening, don't we, where we play games. I thought what was it, marry? You don't have to be so clever. Don't be so clever, Bridge. I know, but I mean the one where I'm talking. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. I am in it 1, 2, 3 times. I am, good Lord. Hey, Jimmy Bunker, cheeky boy. You just make me laugh. You're just, I don't know, there's something about you just makes me laugh. I tell you what, he did well tonight, didn't he? Your man. Your man in the cardigan did extremely well tonight, guys. You all need to go over to watch Mr. Snowflake's latest premiere on Amberlyn Reid. It was so good. It's on the other channel. It's on his second channel, which is called, what's it called? Under the Roof? Was it? Under the Hood? Is it your face? I think it could be. No, you know what it is? It's so nice to hear, other British people on here because you know what, guys? I supposedly I don't know any Brits. I don't talk to any Brits online, apparently. So it's quite nice to sort of hear somebody Under the Hood. That's what it's called, guys. After this, go and check out his latest. I think it's I think they co-share, that's the word, that channel, both Jimmy Bunker here and Mr. Snowflake. And I don't know if the Americans get the British sense of humour. I've seen a few people sort of, not really sure about it. But as a Brit, I get it. And I just think they're just cheeky Northerners. That's what they are. I think they're probably in Newcastle, and they're like the Ant and Dec of YouTube, but far wittier and far more talented, dare I say. Okay, hi Sasha, long time no see. You do if you watch British comedy, I get it. Oh right, yeah, that's true. Hey Edna, I'm gonna put in a link for you in just a sec. Yeah, you are though. Ant and Dec of YouTube. Yeah, you are. Do you know what? I can't believe that they're nearly 50 years old. That just makes me feel so old. But yeah. And I mean, I don't know whether you've heard that. I don't know. I've heard a few rumblings in the jumble, or in the jungle even, that they're not getting on as well as they used to. And yeah, I'm not surprised about that. So yeah, it's good to to see fellow Brits doing well just by being themselves. And one of the things that amuses me even more, and it's more for like a Drama Friday live stream, is when there's certain individuals that just do not understand British humour in that way. And yeah, humour isn't all about singing and dancing and making yourself look like an idiot. Humor can be, straight faced. And I have to say that Mr. Snowflake is, what's the word? Is it a stooge? It is, isn't it? When you've got a comedian and then you've got like their straight man. I think they call it a stooge. Um, oh my God. Oh my God. Did he really? Ah, Lordy, Miss Claudie. Oh, was she taller than him? I bet. I bet. Um, there's something I found out today, which I wasn't surprised about. I had a feeling that Mr. Snowflake worked in education, worked in schools. Um, and those of you that have seen know me a little bit, know that I also worked in education. And there's just something about him that I thought, I think he may have worked in education. And today confirmed it. So I was like, yes, I got it right. So let's have Edna on. Hi, Edna. How are you, darling? Are you good?
Hello. Yes, I am fantastic.
Good. What have you done this week?
Let's see. Today's Wednesday, so of course I've been doing a lot of taxes, then
Okay.
which
Yeah,
has been
okay.
fun. But also, I kid. No, I'm also thinking about starting like I'm really starting a channel and like getting my channel together, and I've been working on planning that. So hopefully we'll be seeing that come together soon.
Good.
Within like 2 weeks maybe.
Right. Okay. So we've got Barley saying, Mr. Snowflake, schools, no way. Intelligence he has, but he's too narcissistic to be a teacher. What do you mean by that, Barley? Where has Mr. Snowflake shown that he's narcissistic? I'm interested. That's a very interesting observation you've made there, because I haven't made that observation. So explain. Explain
You
it
know
to
what,
me.
Jan, that's funny because I was talking to someone today. I was like, I don't feel like I'm not in a very wellness Wednesday mood. I'm more in a drama Friday mood.
Oh, are you?
I am.
Oh. Hey, so Jimmy says, yeah, his teacher voice still scares him. You should have heard mine. Oh, my God. Ah. um, yeah, I had quite a stern teacher voice as well. I always start off nicely, though. Do you know what I mean? Start off nicely and work out which ones are the ones that are gonna sort of be a problem. And yeah, anyway, shouldn't really be talking about my school days. Uh right, okay, let's see what I do. Okay, who have we got here? We've got Minty Lime. Hi, welcome. I'd be a narcissist too if I was as handsome.
Aw.
Oh, that's a lovely thing to say. That's really sweet.
hmm
Um, let me see. So here's Barley. You can see in his
Hey,
videos.
Valley.
Okay, how can you see in his videos? I'm gonna call you on this, Barley, because It's my channel. I'm allowed. So how can you see in his videos that he's narcissistic? What narcissistic
He
traits does he portray while he's
he is a white,
you know,
soft, your mama. Sorry.
he is a soft what? He is a white soft yo mama. No, stop it. He also doesn't do own research. Oh, Barley. Barley. Um, now what can I say?
Minty
Uh,
line with like a source.
why do you think he doesn't why do you think he doesn't do his own research? Do you know how much research he does and how long it takes him to put together a video? Source for this.
Oh,
What's that?
yeah.
Oh, hang on, I'm clickety
He
clicking.
definitely does research.
Yeah, source for this information, Barley. Yeah. Yeah. This is interesting. The way he talks. I can't go into all the details, just the way he is. I'm sorry, Barley. I'm going to totally disagree with you there.
His mannerisms.
I can we have timing? Have we got timing issues again, Edna? The way he talks, I can't go into all the details, just the way he is. Okay. Who, what? Hi, Bridge. How are you, darling? Who are you guys talking? The snowflake guy. Yes.
Hey, Bridge.
Yes. She's saying, Barley's saying that he's narcissistic. He doesn't do his own research. And what was the other one? I've forgotten the other one. And she's likening him to Yo Mama. To be honest, I cannot
A
say
white, soft your mama.
a white soft Yo Mama. Who else does his
White,
research?
soft your mama.
Who else does his research? Okay. I think Barley's trolling.
Back in
Okay.
with the heat.
He admits at the end he gets help. Good on him for this. He gives credit to the people. Yo Mama doesn't do that. I mean, okay, all right. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. He is. I've done videos on him. Come along to Drama Friday, and you'll find out who he is. Complete moron. Who thinks that everybody else is trash? He thinks everybody else's content is trash. And yeah. And hang on. Oh, hold on, says Jimmy. I do all the research. Mr. Snowflake does nothing. You're right, Barley.
That's funny.
There you go. So that makes him narcissistic. There you go. I think Barley's had a rough day. You had a hard day, Barley. You come in here all sort of antagonistic. He's a failed gamer. Oh, yeah, okay. He's a failed gaming celebrity. That's Yo Mama, not Mr. Snowflake. No, no. Mind you, I found out today that he likes like things like aliens and things like that. He's talking about doing crime. Do you think he's copied us, Edna?
I don't think he's copied us. I think that there's enough crime to go around. That'd be interesting to get like a sci-fi element to the true crime.
See, I don't like. Do you know? I cannot understand. What is it? Sci-fi. I can't understand it, so I avoid it like the plague. But Mr. Snowflake is thinking of doing it. Yeah, and I think that would be great. I also like. I believe that. No, that's unfair. I like his cardigans. His cardigans are sweet. I asked him what the biggest size was that Primark do the cardigans in. Because I thought I might get foodie one.
That would be cute to have.
Do they come in 5XL or something? That's what I was thinking. Can you imagine?
Oh no, yeah.
Have I heard Jimmy's cardigan song? I don't think I have.
No.
Oh, have I? I don't know. Edna will not have heard of any of this, but she'll catch up at some point. Okay.
I wish I could be offended, but Jan is right. I have no like okay. I did subscribe to Mr. Snowflake and I saw the video premiere, but I got distracted or something. I didn't click on it because I'm like, I'm gonna be in somebody's stream and we're gonna talk about.
I like deep dives. You know, I do like those sort of documentary type things, and I've yet to see one as good as Mr. Snowflake's. I
Well,
know
and
there's
Crystal
been.
was before. Sorry.
Carry on. Yeah, yeah. If it allows you to put the link in, honey, yeah, that's fine.
Well, I was just gonna say, and Crystal is before I started watching ALR, so it's like a bit of lore that I'm not familiar with.
Right, you've seen. Oh, she's not looking good, is she, Sasha? Not looking good at all. But anyway, this is Wellness Wednesday, okay?
We really
We
should get back on track, huh?
we should get back on track. But getting back to the crime thing, I think is a super idea, and
Mm-hmm.
it's something that we've spoken about. Does what work? Does what work?
I guess not.
You haven't. No, you haven't put. It hasn't come through. Sorry. I tell you what. See if you can put it underneath this video when it goes up. See if you can put it up. What was the clip for? Your song? Where is it? Do I have to find it? Right, hang on one sec. Is it on Under the Hood? Right, I've actually got a different one lined up. Let's have a look. Okay. Let's look at these two cheeky boys. Trust me, they are so cheeky. So this is Under the Hood. Right. Let's have a look. What's that? Drunk to hunk. Oh dear. Okay. So we have to look at Jimmy Bunker, apparently. All right, let's do that. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Snowflake. I watched this one. This was good. But again, you see, their delivery is very.
I was so flustered and embarrassed that it thought it embarrassed me.
Right, their delivery is very different to what the Americans give out, you know. And for me, as a Brit, it's quite nice to have, you know, a slightly calmer delivery for a change. So, right, okay, so we're in there.
So what do you think
and
the
we're gonna.
Americans are, Jan? What are you trying to say?
You're all a bit nuts, aren't you? Let's be honest.
You
You
think
are,
we're too
though.
much?
Yeah, you're all a bit nuts. So, what are we looking for? I've forgotten what we're looking for. What are we looking for? What are we looking for?
Cardigan
It's a
song.
snowflake version of the handsomest man. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Shorts. Handsomest man. That's it. Here. All right. I think I found it, guys.
Thanks to you, I sleep better at night. Thanks for you, your cardigans are tight. Cardigans, I love your cardigans, cardigans. I'm not too keen on the stripy one, but the rest okay. Mediocre cardigans. Thanks to you, I sleep better at night. Thanks for you, your cardigans are tight. Cardigans, I love your cardigans, cardigans.
Do you know what? That actually sounds better than the original, I have to say. It does. And what I love is that
Um,
Mr. Snowflake doesn't mind taking the mickey out of himself, and that is the kind of person that I like to see. I just, just take the mickey out of yourself, So that was great. Yeah, loved that. It was wonderful. Well done. You've been singing it all day. Oh God, it is funny. Is that the right one? Is that the right one? I love that cardigan. I love it. And only a man, that saying it that only real men can wear pink. I think
oh,
only
right.
real men can wear cardigans. That's what I think.
Hmm.
Can't wait for the album. Waiting for that one. So while we're on this one, while we're on this page, I don't know if the Americans, right, right, okay. Which other one did I watch that I thought was funny? I quite like this one, right? When Jimmy goes for a walk. I think Jimmy is a history teacher. That's what I think. That's all I'm going to say. Right, here we go.
Oh God. I think you're gonna fall over coming back, Scam.
Oh.
Oh God. I think you're gonna fall over coming back, Scam.
You know what I love is that his wife is laughing. I love that because that's what I would be doing. But another thing, this actually makes me feel really uncomfortable because I hate getting dirty. So there's no way I could do that. There's no way I could walk there and, for fear of like falling in the mud and getting it all on my hands. So, are you there, Edna? Or have you nodded off, darling? Edna? I think she's gone walkabouts. Okay, I'll keep talking. I actually had something completely different lined up. Um, he was looking for Iron Age remains. Oh yeah, I know he was. That's why I think he might be either a historian or a history teacher. Yeah, I think so. We've lost Edna. She's gone off to find Hussey's new channel because that's gone AWOL, hasn't it? What a surprise. Oh dear. Right, I need to go back to the video I had before, and annoyingly, I've forgotten what the name of the woman is. So just bear with. I'll get there in a sec. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Right, stop, stop, stop. Okay, so that's for a bit later. Edna. Oh, Edna's taken a dive. Edna's gone. I've upset her. Oh my God. So, shall we move on to true crime already then? And see if Edna comes back. So, this is what we're going to do. She'll be back in a tick, no doubt. So, we're going to do this, okay? Because we touched on doing this the other day, once we'd finished with all the frivolities of Wellness Wednesday, and without Edna, telling me what's been going on. Night, night, Jimmy. Thanks for coming in, darling. Lovely to see you. I'm basically Indiana Jones. Oh, wow. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. There's YouTube Indiana Jones. I love that. Yeah, so Edna, where's she gone? She's disappeared. Maybe she didn't understand. Maybe she didn't understand what was going on. But anyway, I want to talk about stop. Here she comes. Edna, we're ready. We're going. True crime. Are you ready for this, darling? Thank you. Thank you, Jose. Is it Jose? Um, yeah, I enjoy my doing my Peter videos. Are you there, Edna love? Edna. I love it when she does this. Edna. Do. No, you can't laugh at that one. No, right, okay. I don't know where I don't know what Edna's doing, so I'm just going to carry on. Right, so today, anyway, as we've said before, we wanted to have like a section where we talk about crime, and my God, there's so much that goes on. Stupid thing to say, I know, but it's true. Are you there, Edna? Edna? I can hear some.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, darling. Are you ready for crime? Are you ready for
Okay.
crime?
Listen, Dana yanked me up. She said, "You better cut it out talking about Bally."
Who did?
Dana from StreamYards. She yanked me offline because you was talking about Bally.
Oh my
She said,
God.
"Listen, watch your mouth." Sorry,
Really?
guys. So technical difficulties.
Yeah, you are having technical difficulties. I can hear it. Anyway, we've gone straight on to true crime because I'm not staying on for 2 hours tonight.
Okay.
So, the one that there's several stories that I've been watching, keeping an eye on recently, and one of them is of this young man who here we go who is called Riley Strain. Okay, I don't know if those of you, I don't know if any of you have actually heard of the story, but it's really sad. Yeah, she is your friend, isn't she, Bart? Yeah, yeah, the one that ripped you off. Yeah, that's cool, really cool. Anyway, so let's get back to Riley Strain. Now, I was going to play the Crime and Law and Crime Network that I normally watch it on, but then I found this young lady and I thought she tells the story really well. So I thought we could watch it together, and I'll pause it, and because I think it brings up a lot of issues. I really
Okay. What's her
do.
name?
So I think there are some really good discussion points in it. So has anybody heard of the Riley Strain story? Edna, have you heard of it?
No. Oh no. Oh, I was gonna say, who's the woman? No, who's the woman who we're about to listen to? What's
Right.
her
The
name?
the lady, this channel is called Danielle Hallen,
Me.
and I will put a link in the description so that you
Okay.
can, check her out. I've not watched her before, um, but I watched a couple of
Mhm.
minutes of it, and I thought, do you know what? I think I'm just going to play this one because she sounds really sort of what's the word? Invested in it. I don't know if that's the word. She just seems to do a good job. So anyway, let's get on with this so that I can tell you what's going on. Basically, it's a young man. I think he's 22. But he's in college or something, uni. Anyway, I'm going to play it and let's see how we go.
We're speaking about the current disappearance of 22-year-old Riley Strain that is all over social media. Riley's story starts off like far too many that we see while looking into true crime. A young man out at a bar for a good time somehow ends up walking off intoxicated and alone by a body of water. And I have no idea why this happens so often, but here we are. And this case is so recent, it's not even been 2 weeks, and it needs all of the help that it can get. I've been tagged by you guys so many times in videos and news clips and TikToks. I've got DMs everywhere. And so I want to help spread his name, the details of his disappearance, so that maybe someone with information can come forward, or someone possibly knows of an organization that might be able to help.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop there and say the first thing that I think that she's touched on here is that this young boy, a young man, I call him a young boy because I'm an old bird and he's a young boy. He's 22 years old. He was absolutely intoxicated and kicked out of a bar in Nashville for being intoxicated. And there are, I don't know whether she shows it. I hope she does. There's actually, there are pictures, videos of just how bad he was, just
wow.
wandering the streets afterwards.
I thought that was against the law, that you couldn't serve someone to the point of them being like belligerently drunk or, like to a certain level of intoxication.
Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? And
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a story on it, and that is that my youngest is a boy, right? He's, what is he now? 24. But I still call him the teen, right? So he's not a drinker, and he never has been, and he was out with a friend. He was out with a couple of friends a couple of years ago, maybe when he was 18, and I can't remember. Well, I always say to all of them, just be careful when you're out there, you know. And I'll always remember he was out there. He was in the local town, and with a couple of friends. And then I got a phone call about 11:30 at night saying, Mom, no, I think it was about 12:30, something like that. Oh, Mom, I think I need to be picked up now. So I said, all right then, okay. So I went and picked him up. And as I drove down the road towards the pub, I could see him clinging onto a lamppost.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So I pulled over and he sort of staggered towards me, trying his hardest to appear not to be drunk. And he got in the car and I could just tell he was green. Alcohol did not agree with him. So I said to him, so how long have you been clung to that lamppost? And he said, Connor was waiting for you to turn up before he left me there. He said, but he's been waiting there all the time and he's just gone before you turned up. And I remember thinking, thank God that my son has got responsible friends. I was so grateful. Now, my boys aren't little. They're both big men. Okay, both of them. And I mean, we live in a safe area anyway, but it's like it doesn't really matter which area you live in. It's all about wrong time, wrong place, or right place, wrong, whatever. Anyway, and I've forever been grateful for that. I mean, afterwards, once he'd sobered up and everything, he told me that, they took him to the toilet first and then they sort of helped him down the stairs. And his friend said to my son, I think you should call your mum to come pick you up now, because I've always picked my kids up. Doesn't matter whether they're male or female. If they need a lift, I will pick them up because it's not safe out there. So anyway, so he told me that, his mate sort of was keeping an eye on him and he was aware of that. And he said that his mate actually walked him to the lamppost and said, right, hold on to that. And then when I see your mum's car come in, I'll go. And I tell you what, that has cemented that friend in my heart, because if more people did that when they went out with their friends, then something like this poor young man here wouldn't happen. Let's see what Bridges put. You're never supposed to leave friends. You come together, you leave together. I know. That's
Mhm.
exactly what I've said. And I've always said that when my girls have been out. I've always said, I don't ever want to hear of you getting in a cab on your own. You never should be on your own at night time. And touch wood, it's always worked with our family. So yeah, let's carry on with this.
His mom has broken my heart in every single interview that she has been in. His family's desperate to bring him home and keep his name out there. Let's just get into all of the known details so far. Riley is 22 years old from Missouri, and he is currently attending the University of Missouri as a business finance major. He is incredibly smart. He's incredibly driven. He's an intern at Northwestern Mutual, and according to his family, he hopes that he can continue to work with them when he's set to graduate, and he's supposed to graduate in just a few months. It's just making this case that much more upsetting. Everyone
It is, because, and I don't, I have to be careful here, because I want to sort of say that it doesn't matter what background you come from or what home life you have. If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, things can happen. And if you haven't got that, is it
That's very
sobriety?
true.
That, the men, or, some people think that men aren't as gullible or vulnerable as women. And I disagree with that 100%. And, I'll always remember, like, when my boys went out, I would worry just as much for them as I did for my girls. Because, men can be funny and they can take a look at another man, someone who's like bigger than them, maybe, and think, oh, I could have him. Do you know what I mean? I could, you know. So you just have to be so careful. Edna, sorry, darling, what were you going to say?
Oh, I wasn't saying anything. Yeah.
What
I'm
do
just
you think?
listening. I don't know. It's interesting because, so do they have any reason to think that there's foul play other than they can't find them? They're just on the
They
look, or
don't
is this
know.
they don't
They,
know?
they
Okay.
really
'Cause this
don't
is
know at the
local to
moment.
me. Yeah.
So, okay, let's carry on.
Everyone that has spoken about him describes him as being kind and gentle and very charismatic. Riley knows no strangers. He can and he will talk to everyone. And I feel like that really shows in the amount of people that have come forward to try and help locate him. He seems so loved and so respected by his classmates and his community. He's also very close to family. He speaks to them like 3 or 4 times a day without fail. And his mom, dad, and step parents have been working closely together to try to bring him home. So
Yeah, I think it's heartbreaking. I really do.
Yeah, that is sad.
Because this young man, he had everything to live for, and because of drink, um, we don't know what's happened to him. So I don't want to play all her video because it's not fair. I'm going to play these bits, this bit in particular, where he's actually on CCTV, and you can see the state he's in. Okay, here we go.
voicemail. Nashville Metro PD started to reach out to local hospitals and jails to see if maybe he had an accident or passed out somewhere or, got into a fight. You literally never know because downtown Nashville is such a busy and chaotic place. But they weren't.
I don't know if I've already said this, but he was at a bar with some friends and was asked to leave. The bartenders told him to leave, obviously because he was intoxicated.
Able to find a record of him anywhere. So they decided to start pulling surveillance from the downtown area, hoping that they would catch him and it would lead to answers. Now, when Riley was kicked out of the bar, he should have taken a left out of Luke's bar for about 5 blocks and then taken a right onto Rosa L. Parks. Like I said, very straightforward, and he would have been right there at his hotel. But all surveillance suggested that he went the opposite direction instead. And the footage showed just how out of it Riley really was. Just minutes after leaving the bar, Riley was captured on surveillance heading north on 3rd Avenue. He is stumbling and he is clearly having a hard time. By 9:45, surveillance ended up catching him again, and this time it is just even more alarming. Riley had turned right onto Church Street.
I just think this is awful. I just think it's so
Yeah.
sad, you know. Hi, Bea. Lovely to see you.
Yeah.
I
Listen, Jane,
just,
there's a case against these friends. Where are they at? You know, the establishment that overserved him and pushed him out in this state. This is like negligence. Like, you can't have somebody. I mean, what do you think? Do you think this is okay?
no, of course I don't. I'm just looking
I
at
mean, yeah, I'm sorry, but
Bea here.
yeah.
No, that's okay. This case is really weird. So you've heard of it, have you, Bea? And this is what I want us to discuss, really. Who is responsible for this? Who should be held accountable for this? I mean, it's all, you know, we could say, oh, well, he's a grown man. He's 22. I used to do this and I used to do that when I was 22. But I think it runs deep in society that someone like this boy can be seen stumbling along the road like this and nobody stops to help him. I mean, what
Right.
would you do, Edna? Would you help
Listen,
him?
me personally, I'm a young woman, or you know, I'm a woman. So I'm gonna let a man or somebody assist him, or call, you know, see if I can get some help for him. I'm not just gonna go run up to a strange man. But I mean, there's many things that could be done. First of all, the bar that over poured him, they're responsible. Like, and for them to kick him out in this state, I feel like they hold a lot of liability.
I know. I think I would. I mean, as the parents, I mean, they must be so angry about it as well. But it sort of brings it brings to our attention societal acceptance in situations where people should really have prevented this from happening. Oh, Bea's got an interesting.
I
I
also
think it
agree.
was the friends who had something to do with his disappearance. Wow, that's interesting.
Because, Jan, if you go out with a friend, are you not going to make sure they get back home?
Wow, yeah. I mean,
You just leave your
yeah,
friend? That's weird.
especially a friend that was in this state. I mean, God, he could barely put one foot in front of the other. So Bea says there's something sinister hiding in this case. The lack of security cameras in that area, especially the downtown area, is really fishy.
Yeah.
But there
There's
is,
cameras.
I don't know, Bea, there is quite a bit of, there's more that we can look at. I think there was a bit more.
Oh, okay.
Well, we know bars kick out drunk people all the time. Oscar, yeah, that's true. But yeah, but a young guy like this. Okay, let's carry on.
After leaving the bar, Riley was captured on surveillance heading north on 3rd Avenue. He is stumbling and he is clearly having a hard time. By 9:45, surveillance ended up catching him again, and this time it is just even more alarming. Riley had turned right onto Church Street.
I think if I was in one of those cars driving by just then, I would have stopped and I would have got out because he's fallen. I've done it before. And I would go over to him and say, "Hey, are you okay? I've just seen that you've fallen over. Are you okay?" And then
Right.
if I found that he was drunk, I would then, you know, try and ascertain where he's trying to go. And, you know, can I give you a lift there? I'll give you a lift there because you're not able to walk very well, are you? I've just seen you trip over. That's what I
Jen,
would
you are
do.
too kind.
No,
Yeah.
I would do it. What you
Yeah.
saying that if you drove by when he was walking like this, okay,
He is stumbling and he is clearly having a hard time. By 9:45,
see.
surveillance ended up catching
here,
him
right?
again, and this time it is just even more.
Right. Are you saying if you
Yeah.
didn't see that happen that
No.
you wouldn't
Okay.
go and ask him? I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
If I
but
saw
I
that.
would.
Yeah.
I
But see, the
would.
thing is, Jen, you see people. It was one time. I'm just at the bus stop on my way home from the grocery store. It wasn't late, but it was dark. And I say hello to the person next to me. They were not in their right mind. And you know what I mean? Like, you never know what's going on with somebody. So you see somebody that might look like I mean, well, obviously, either way, they're in need, but they might be in such a state that they hurt you, not realizing that you're trying to help them.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. And I know that some people may have been scared, but I would have just seen him fall and thought, oh, I've got to help him somehow,
Mm-hmm.
Um, acting all loopy. Oh, no, I wouldn't say. Okay. Whether he's acting loopy or not, he was in distress and he'd had a bad fall there and crashed into whatever that is there. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I would have done, but hey, I know not everybody's the same as me, and I know in this day and age you have to be careful, and maybe the fact that I'm in Britain is different, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, but, yeah, I just know if I'd have seen somebody fall like that, I mean, it it breaks my heart just to see it, and,
Yeah,
I
but
can
then there's
imagine
a
that's somebody's son. Do you know what I mean? The way I look at it is,
right.
it's somebody's son, and I
Well,
tell you,
see, the thing is
there was another time with my son, um, the same son. He went out with some college friends in a town further away, and when he got there, they were all sober, mind you, but they were going to a club. No, they weren't. They were going to a bar, but they had security, and my son had forgotten his ID. So they'd gone all the way there. I'd said to him, right, just let me know which train you're coming back on. I wasn't happy with him drinking, and then coming back on the train, but I thought, okay, he's 18 or whatever he was. I've got to accept it. And I said to him, please just be careful, and he said, Mum, I'm not going to drink. I'll have 1 pint and that'll be it. So I said, all right then. So what happened? He didn't have the ID. So he phoned, he said, oh, Mum, I haven't got my ID. So I said, well, okay, what do you want me to drive it up to you? And he said, no, don't bother. He said, they've all gone in anyway. So I said, listen, you're on a night out. Just because you've forgotten your ID doesn't mean that, your evening has to be ruined. Let me drive up. I mean, it was only about 10 miles away. Let me drive up and I'll give it. No, I'm going to get the train. I'm going to get the train. So I said, okay then. So I then later picked him up at the train station. Now, the thing that really pissed me off was that not one of his friends walked back with him, not even to the train station. Now, these were different friends to the ones, his real friends that helped him when he was drunk that time. But what I'm saying is, it really pissed me off that the guys just went into the bar, didn't bother that, my son was left outside because he couldn't come in. Not one of them checked to see if he was okay, if there was a reason he couldn't I mean, did they already know that he couldn't get in? And if so, why couldn't one of them have walked back to the station with him? At least walk to the station with him. I was so
right.
angry about it. so angry. So I think a lot of it has got to do with the caliber of friends that you have.
Oh, absolutely.
So Bridge says, "You're a nice mum." My mum would have been like, "Come on and bring your ass home." Yeah, nah. I tell you, I am a very protective mum, very protective. And yeah, I mean, I've picked my kids up from nightclubs because I don't want to, the girls used to club a lot. Um, and I would pick them up from the club. There's no way I would even let them get in a cab on their own. It was when Ubers had started, um, and there was a lot of stories going around about you can't trust Uber drivers. So I was like, okay, I'll pick you up. Or I'd say you can get a cab as long as there's more than one of you in there, and make sure you're not the last drop off. So yeah, I've always been very, very protective. I don't understand people like that. People I know would have been like, if you can't get in, let's find someplace else. I know. I
Yeah.
And they were his college buddies as well. And, I was so pissed off about it. I really was, because it wasn't even as if it was in the local town. It would have cost him an absolute fortune to get a cab home, because they rip you off over here. And yeah, I was really upset for him. No, but anyway, let's carry on with this. Was there anything you wanted to add, Edna? Sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, hindsight's always 2020, because there's a reason why he was actually kicked out of the bar. You know what I mean? And also, as a bystander, especially as a woman, with him being a man, I wouldn't feel comfortable just going up to him saying X, Y, Z. Like, now that he hit himself, like he's on the ground, or he's fallen, hurt himself, he's on the ground. That's a little different. But just seeing a strange man stumbling on the street, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I guess I would have looked. I mean, to me, it's obvious that he's a young guy and
Mhm.
he's drunk, or, I mean, you don't know. He could have been having some sort of epileptic fit or something. Do you know what I mean? You can't just
Yeah.
leave someone lying in the street. I just,
Yeah.
no, I just can't. I couldn't do it. Um, Right, okay. Sasha says a lady ain't going up to that. Sorry. Yeah, well, they do over here, they would over here. I know. All right, you have to take care of your own safety. I understand that. But maybe, if you don't want to get out, you just pull over and call over and say, "Are you okay?" I mean, God, just show a bit of compassion to other people. Rabia says, I'm such a Karen, I would have called the cops on him while asking him if he was okay. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I just couldn't have left him lying in the street like that. No.
More alarming. Riley had turned right onto Church Street, again going the full on opposite direction. And at this point, he is running before ultimately falling face down onto the ground. I have no idea why he was running, if he was running from someone. I have absolutely no idea, but it was very hard to watch. Just knowing that he's alone, he's not in his right mind, he's in a place he's not very familiar with. But it was even worse to see all of the people that were around him and knowing that people saw this
Wow.
and no one stopped to help him. Riley struggled to get up, but
Yeah. See, I mean,
Okay.
because it was
See, that's a
early
little
evening.
different. You said it was early. What time was it?
I think it was about 9:30 at night. So
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
a
lot
little
of people
different.
around.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe like midnight, or like, I
No.
don't know. Yeah, if it's multiple people, it's lit, there's cameras. I think the least you can do maybe fine. I don't know. I mean, it's still tough because that's the way people treat, mentally ill and whatever. It's not uncommon, but it's sad to see.
Yeah. It breaks my heart to see it, to be honest. Bridge says, I've done that before when we saw some girls fall when I was driving down the street. I stopped and asked if they were okay, but I was with my boyfriend at the time. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right, Sasha? There was a lot of people about. A lot of people. I mean, just to see him staggering there, I think I wouldn't have necessarily sort of gone up to him then, but it was when he fell, then
Yeah.
I would have then, you know. But yeah, incredible that there's all these people around. Right, okay.
This, and no one stopped to help him. Riley struggled to get up, but eventually he was able to get back on his feet and he headed off again. And a few minutes later, he was captured crossing First Avenue onto Gay Street. And this street runs directly along the side of the Cumberland River. Riley continued down this road, and at 9:52, he was seen on surveillance walking north between James Robertson Parkway and the Woodland Street Bridge. Both of those bridges cross the river. This entire stretch, when you're walking on the sidewalk, there's only like a railing or a small stone wall at some places, but it's that, a steep embankment, and the river. There is an actual chain link fence, some of the portions, and specifically between those two bridges, it's pretty dark and quiet. There's what appears to be an underground parking deck, but other than that, it's just an empty stretch out of the way of main downtown traffic.
Yeah. So some people are saying that maybe he's fallen over the barrier and fallen into the river there.
Yeah, that's what it
Um,
sounds probable.
it does sound probable, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Right. They probably thought he was crazy or on drugs. Yeah. I even had some crazy person walking on the side of traffic. He caught eye contact with me and tried to get in the car. People are crazy. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that, Bridge. Absolutely.
That reminds me, I was just just taking a street or taking a walk down the street, and as I was crossing, there was a guy who was like walking in the street, stumbling around, nearly walking into traffic.
Mm,
Yeah, and I was just standing. I could have been one of these people, Jan, just standing there watching them.
yeah. I think that's a different scenario. Um, yeah, and instances like that, I wouldn't get involved. No. But then I think, as I've said, it was the fact that he fell over. That was it for me. I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh my God, is he all right? So yeah, I think there's so many different scenarios. And I think, especially in today's world, you do have to think of your own safety. Bridget says, I was also with another boyfriend at the time and we were in a topless car. He tried to hop in. Yeah, I used to have a convertible. I've had a couple actually, and that was one thing. I would never have my roof down at night time because I always had that fear of like stopping at the traffic lights and someone jumping in. So
Yeah.
you do feel very exposed actually in a convertible car.
According to
I never
phone
even thought
records,
about
police
that.
were able to confirm that it was around this time approximately that Riley spoke to his friend on the phone. So it seems like he thought he was heading towards the hotel, but that was just not at all the case. From this point on, Riley's phone went completely silent and he wasn't captured on any more surveillance. There was no evidence really at all that he ever left this area. Nashville Metro decided to release the surveillance, hoping that someone else may have seen him and could hopefully bring forward helpful information because, after all, this is downtown Nashville on a Friday night. And as you can see in the footage, he was far from the only person out there. It was around 10 p.m. at this point, so I'm sure plenty of people were just starting to head out or were just coming back from dinner. When I was in this particular area, I know that there's a lot of Ubers and people that kind of sit around waiting to do rides. Someone had to have seen something, maybe not directly in that last area he was known to be in because it was like a quieter cut through road, but someone had to have seen something helpful. By Wednesday.
Um, right, let's see what Bridget says. Have the police tried to look at the cell phone tower records? I'm sure they have, Bridge. I'm sure they have.
I think she
Uh,
just said that, right? That they were looking, and then shortly after they found him in that area, but then it like his phone went cold or something,
they
and they
basically
weren't.
yeah, they basically left or lost contact with him once
Yeah.
he left that specific part and was down by the river.
So I guess that's the last known ping from the cell phone.
Yeah. Oh, and then the other day, I think it was yesterday, they found his bank card by the side of
Really?
by the side of the embankment. So now you've got conspiracists saying, oh, well, maybe he committed, the unthinkable because that's what people do when they commit the unthinkable because they don't want any trace on their body when it's found. I don't know if that's true.
What do you mean? They any trace on their body?
If somebody's going to do the unthinkable, they don't want any ID on their
Oh, that's
body.
why he dropped his
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah. Okay, let's see what Bea says. I don't have a good feeling about the outcome of this case, but I just hope they find his body so his parents can say goodbye properly to him. I feel exactly the same, Bea. Exactly the same. I don't think there's going to be a good outcome to this. And I know you get conspiracists who say, oh, wow, he's gone off to live a new life. No, I don't think that at all.
not on vacation,
Look at that.
stumbling out on a bar. This isn't a movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Bridge says, who knows? He might have gotten robbed and beaten up. Something is so bizarre. Is it so bizarre, though? Is it? When you're that drunk that you can barely put one foot in front of the other? I don't know if it's bizarre. I think it's haunting, for sure.
Yeah,
I
haunting.
think
Yeah,
it's
because I think
definitely
maybe
haunting.
he had an accident and he just tripped and fell, and maybe his body was carried away. He hasn't been found, or somebody saw him in a vulnerable state and took advantage.
Yeah, there's that possibility. There's
At
another
this point, he
case.
was.
There's another case that's quite similar to this. I don't know if any of you true crimers out there will remember this one. It's of I think was he a German? And he was in the States and he was meant to be flying home or something. And you see him at the airport and he's told everyone, I'm going home, blah de blah. And so you see him in the airport, and then you see him wandering around the airport, and then he has to go and speak to somebody in the airport in an office. I'm not sure what that was about, and he leaves all his luggage in the office that he went to speak to somebody, and then you see him. He comes out of the office, and then he starts running for no reason. He starts running, and he was a young guy about the same age. And you see him running out of the airport, and then on the CCTV, you can see him running through the car park and over and beyond where there's like the periphery of the airport or the car park, and then he just disappears, and you never see him again, and they've never found him.
Who was
It's a
this?
terrifying story. I don't know. I don't know what his name was. But yeah,
Oh,
so it does happen. And
yeah.
as far as I know, they never found the guy. Never found him. So, okay, let's carry on here. What's she saying here? Because I don't want to use all of her. Right, what's this? Okay, that looks like something different. Okay, let's go.
Saw Riley almost fall down the embankment that night.
I seen the guy that went missing. He came down through here. We heard a commotion. We looked back up. He almost fell over. The last bush right there caught him. He was very, very, very intoxicated, I guess. I mean, he was stumbling hard. I've never seen anybody stumble that hard before.
The man telling me he didn't check on Riley since someone else was already there.
I yelled up. They said, no, he's just drunk. He's okay.
The man, who asked not to be identified, says he reported the entire encounter to detectives. He says Riley continued in the same direction up First Avenue. But then Riley's trail stops. Other security footage just a block up the way doesn't appear to show Riley, according to his family. Riley's relatives, who have been in town since the first day he was missing, say they're working to track down anyone who was in Riley's last known location by the bridge.
Do you know, I've not heard that story. That's the first time I've heard of that man saying that, you know, they'd seen him down by the embankment. I'd not heard of that.
Well, I'm sure
Um,
plenty of people saw him.
it wasn't
I mean,
Heathrow Airport, Sasha. It wasn't Heathrow. It was in I think it was in America. Yeah, sorry, Edna, carry on.
many airports. Yeah, no, somebody stumbling that hard, looking like that, it's gonna draw attention. People are gonna notice.
Yeah. But as the guy said, somebody else was with him. So that's quite interesting.
He
Around
said somebody else yelled that he was okay.
Yeah.
Does that mean that he was with him, or that he just saw him and kind of observed the same thing and noticed that he wasn't hurt?
He said someone else was with him. Let's go back over it. Okay, let's go back to there again.
Down the embankment that night.
I seen the guy that went missing. He came down through here. We heard a commotion. We looked back up. He almost fell over. The last bush right there caught him. He was very, very, very intoxicated, I guess. I mean, he was stumbling harder I've never seen anybody stumble that hard before.
The man telling me he didn't check on Riley since someone else was already there.
I yelled up. They said, no, he's just drunk. He's okay.
The man.
Yeah. So
See, they didn't say that it was with
him.
him. No, it didn't say he was with him. They just said it was another guy on the scene.
No. Okay, let's hear it again.
And Cumberland River. So Riley would have walked straight past this area and that last stretch of his known walk. And this person believes that he saw Riley almost fall down the embankment that night.
I seen the guy that went missing. He came down through here. We heard a commotion. We looked back up. He almost fell over. The last bush right there caught him. He was very, very, very intoxicated, I guess. I mean, he was stumbling harder I've never seen anybody stumble that hard before.
The man telling me he didn't check on Riley since someone else was already there.
I yelled up. They said, no, he's just drunk. He's okay.
Right. From that, I assume that the way he said, I yelled up, they said he's just drunk. He's okay. I understand from that the other guy was with him.
No, I don't think so. I think that this means it's like if we both stand next to each other and we see an accident and you're like talking, you're like, oh, is he okay? No, he's okay. No. I see he's okay over there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? People, yeah, I don't think he
Maybe
was there.
that's just me. Okay, Bridge thinks the same thing. Okay. Maybe I've just looked at it differently. I swear I need to start working for the FBI because I would ask the names of the friends, his last names. I think they probably have. I'm sure they already have, Bea. And if they were rich kids, most likely there was foul play and they're covering them. But he was alone, though, when he was walking the street. So where would the foul play come in?
No, didn't he say the last call was from one of his friends?
Yeah. Yeah, feds are on the job, most definitely. Yeah, I think they are. Right, okay, let's carry on from here, shall we? What's that bit there? Okay, let's go from here.
Bryan himself, along with his restaurant, ended up making a public statement. Luke Bryan sent his thoughts to Riley's family, but the statement made from the bar seemed to, in my opinion, just kind of make things more confusing. So according to the bar, they had not overserved Riley like it was being claimed potentially happened. They said that they had gathered all information they could, from surveillance to receipts, to try to figure out what exactly happened that night. And they claimed that while Riley was there, which it doesn't seem he was there for very long, he only had one alcoholic beverage and 2 waters. They claimed that at this point, security made a decision based on their conduct standards to kick Riley out of the bar. However, they didn't get into specifics. They didn't say directly that he appeared too intoxicated, but I feel like with the videos that we've seen, it's kind of easy to assume that's likely why they decided to kick him out.
Okay. Oh, it's interesting. Okay.
Bridge, right? Sorry.
I want to see credit card receipts, phone logs. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing, Bea. The bar is lying. Oh, okay. Bet you this ends up being an abduction case. Oh, or somebody spiked his drink.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I meant to say. Because somebody stumbling around that hard from alcohol seems a bit unlikely.
Oh, do you think so? See, I'm not familiar with drugs. I've never done drugs. My kids have never done it. So I don't know how somebody acts when when they're high on drugs. I mean, is it possible that he was maybe more sort of like that, or I was going to say,
Well, listen, this is a vacation, right? Maybe he decided to have a little fun and didn't realize how it would affect him.
yeah, yeah, that's possible. So, seeing the way he was there, do you think that that's quite possible then, that he's mixed the drink with drugs?
I think so. Oh,
Okay.
Sasha said, imagine he got roofied. That could be possible.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Like someone put a drug in your drink. I think is the roofie called is that from the name of the drug? Why is it called roofie?
We call it spiked over here.
Mm-hmm. But
Somebody
yeah, it's the
spiked the
same
drink.
concept, right?
Yeah. So B is saying, oh my God, maybe they put something in his drink to take off his organs.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
oh God. I mean, he was really bad, wasn't he? But okay.
However, they then went on to say that Riley was taken down the stairs to the Broadway Street exit, and that one of his friends that he had been at the bar with actually followed him down the stairs. But this friend just walked him to the door and then walked back up to the bar. And they strongly denied that they never ever prevented anyone from leaving with Riley. So at this point, there's now two different stories going.
Yeah,
Well,
why would they need to deny that? Why would anybody stop you from leaving with them? That's weird.
yeah, I've not heard of that before. Oh, where did that come from? Maybe. Oh, do you think it's one of his friends saying we couldn't go with him because they wouldn't let us go? I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Listen, okay, now if that's coming up, that's coming. They already got
Oh,
their story messed up because
yeah.
because that's a big red flag.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, thanks, Sasha.
Yes, thank you, Sasha.
Oh, now I've not heard this.
Going on here that paint two different pictures. And there is a lot going on out there. I've seen some people claim that they made Riley leave through the back door and not the front. There's just a whole lot out there that I've not been able to confirm or deny, and I've not seen police confirm or deny. But according to most news outlets, the bar does seem to be fully cooperative, and they've handed everything they have over to police. But obviously, this raised a lot of questions about what is actually going on here. Now, because of the way that things have been reported, many people, because of this information, wondered that if this one drink he had was spiked, because it is only widely reported that he went to this one bar, he had this one drink, and to be acting like he was in the video, it just doesn't seem to add up. But there are several other resources out there that do state he had gone to other bars prior to this, so it's really hard to know how many drinks he had.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Do you know what's really scary though? This isn't the first case. I've heard so many cases that are similar to this. So many.
Of someone going out to drink and
Yeah.
disappearing because they were over. Oh wow.
Yeah. As Bridge says, maybe he drank before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from MX. I've seen some things. Where's MX? Is that
I think it's
thought that's
Mexico.
Mexico? Yeah. I don't know whether I go with the trafficking option, if that's the right thing to say. I don't know. It's possible, I suppose.
It's hard. To better understand what's going on. Oh, so he's a hedge fund guy, they said, or he's like corporate America. He's a student. I would assume that the people he's out with are in a similar circle. Like, what would they be trafficking him to do?
Okay, the bar is lying because maybe they run an organ trafficking ring. Okay, I need to calm down. No, please take part in the conversation. It's interesting to hear what other people think. That's the whole point of, this crime section, because we've all got different ideas and we've all got different experiences we can pull from, or it's
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just a Wednesday waffle.
Yeah, it's just a Wednesday waffle. Yeah, I used to, and I used to go out. I used to, I used to be pissed before I walked out the door, and I was driving. No,
Oh
I'm
my goodness,
lying.
Dan.
That was a joke. Before anyone calculates that,
For legal purposes.
that was a joke. Oh Lord, I have to forget. I have to remember that people watch every word that we say. Good
Oh,
Lord.
absolutely.
Okay, so let's jump up a bit because I don't want to steal her whole video. Let me see. All right, so here, let's go up to the search. Okay.
Was made by none other than two women who are avid true crimers.
Yeah, I did.
And
And my stomach dropped.
We begin with breaking news tonight as two women on TikTok uncover a startling piece of evidence in the disappearance of college student Riley Strain. Those girls finding the 22-year-old's bank card right by the river. This launching even more search efforts today, as Fox 17 News is now asking Metro Police if this changes the course of their investigation. It's the first major clue in the disappearance of
Right, Bridge. I know.
What did she say?
They're
They're
going
going to rack Jan through the
through the
coals,
coals again, drinking and
drinking
driving.
and driving. Yeah.
I know.
Listen, Jan, I'm not gonna lie. You had me going there for a moment. I was like, wait, what?
Oh God. Sometimes I can't help myself. So anyway, yeah, so this is where they found the card. Okay, which is interesting.
University of Missouri senior Riley Strain in several days since he went missing March 8th. Riley's bank card discovered by Anna Clendening and Brandy Bainan, both on TikTok and passionately committed to helping bring Riley home.
Riley's face, I'm seeing every time I close my eyes. I haven't been able to sleep the last few days because I know his mom is not sleeping.
Brandy searching homeless
People on
camps and the
TikTok are a
steep
different
Russian
breed.
garbage-laden riverbanks since Tuesday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I did over 18,000 steps out here.
Sunday, their effort produces a significant piece of evidence right near where Riley was last seen.
See, I mean, you may knock these people on TikTok, but if it wasn't for these two girls on TikTok, they wouldn't have found the bank card.
Listen, respectfully, I'm not saying that as a dig. I'm just saying, like, that's amazing to take it
Yeah.
upon yourself. It takes the world, it makes it so small that these two women were able to like go out there and just look. I mean, because nothing's stopping them, right?
I don't think it's right to say that nothing's happening, but I think it's right to say that in a lot of cases, the police aren't, the police aren't sufficient, or the police efforts aren't sufficient.
No, I'm not
I
saying.
watched,
I didn't
I
say that
watched,
nothing's happening. I said nobody's stopping them, as in they're able to add their efforts to the search.
yeah. But I mean, what I'm saying is, when you watch a lot of true crime, as I do, there's so many cases that could have been solved had
like the
there
police
been
said,
a decent police force,
or
because
response.
a lot of the situations have to be especially when, what's worrying is that when what seems to happen is when it involves younger people, the police seem to take a longer time to actually see it as a serious case. And I've seen so many cases where the police's first interaction with the parents has been, oh well, perhaps they went off with a friend, or oh yeah, well maybe she's on a sleepover, or maybe she found some guy in the bar and she's gone off to his. They don't take things seriously.
Right.
And yeah, I think, listen, I don't watch any of my true crime on TikTok. But having seen this right now, I think, thank God that these young girls went out of their way to try and find this boy.
Yeah.
And in doing it, they found a very important piece of evidence that could help solve what's actually happened here. Maybe there hasn't been a crime committed, but we have a missing person. We have a missing boy. He's still a boy. He's 22, and I think, thank God for people like that. And for this young girl to say she's not slept because of it just proves to me that there are caring people out there and there are empathetic people out there. And whether they've got a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel, don't knock them for that. It just means that they're empathetic. And I wish
Did
there
I
were
sound like
more people like that out there.
Did I sound like I was knocking them?
A little bit. When you
Okay.
first said, "Oh,
Let me
people
be clear.
are wild," I
No.
think, well, no, not necessarily. I don't think they're necessarily wild.
No, I think it is wild though, Jen, because they've taken it upon themselves to jump into this investigation.
But why is that wild? Why is it
Because
wild?
we don't know
to
what's
want to help?
going on.
Yeah, but why is it wild to want to help?
Yeah, I mean, but it's not wild to want to help, but it's not like they put together a search.
Oh, but they don't have to. They
Yeah,
don't
well,
have
yeah, that's what I'm
to.
saying. That's what's wild about it, is that we have, TikTok and the platform that allows people to do things like this.
I think, thank God. I think, thank the Lord. And thank the Lord that there are people like that out there. Otherwise, our rivers would be even fuller of dead bodies. It's like, when they dredged a part of the Thames, which is the river that runs through London, the other week, looking for some piece of shite who threw acid all over his ex-partner and her child.
Oh,
And it
wow.
also got him. And they think that he may have fallen in the River Thames. So off go the police to search for him. They found, just in that specific piece of the River Thames, they found 4 bodies.
Wow.
Oh.
Do they think it was all foul play, or they don't know? It's just the fact that they were there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right. Right. If Jack was there, he'd still be alive. Right. For strangers to take it upon themselves to search on their own is pretty wild. Most people don't care. I don't see it as wild, but then that's because of who I am, I suppose. I think I don't do true crime, but I watch a lot of it. And
What do you mean by that? What's the difference between doing it? Oh, like it's not part of your content, but you enjoy it.
it's not part of my content, but I hope by, doing this, we can talk about different cases and, because I am interested in it.
Yeah, it is very interesting.
It is most definitely.
go over? Did we go over the verdict with the gun case?
I did actually put it on my community page.
Okay, let's not leave people hanging, Jan. We have to tie up the cases when they
Oh, okay. All right
Yeah.
then. Okay. You know, people are selfish and self-centered, especially in the Western world. I agree. I agree 100%. What I was going to say is that I know for a fact if this had happened in my village or in my local town, I would be one of the people there looking for him. Now, does that mean I've inserted myself into somebody else's drama? No. It just means that I care enough that I want to try and help the family or help the boy. You know, there's
Yeah, we would all hope that people would be willing to assist in our time of needs like this.
right. So we just finished this little bit. Just hear what these girls say, and then we'll get to the end of. Oh, mind you, I think I might have lost that. Yeah, I haven't got the right back thing for it. Hang on one sec.
I agree,
Okay.
Sasha. Villages are adorable.
Yeah, I live in a little village.
They lived close by and they couldn't just sit back and do nothing, which makes my heart just like absolutely explode. This area had already been searched several times. It was literally ground zero. So it was very frustrating that this hadn't been found. However, I've also seen that the water level over here can drastically change. So I'm unsure if maybe this was covered in water during that time or if it was just mist, which, as awful as it is very easy to miss things on these searches, even with meticulous grid searches by multiple people. This was huge because it was the first piece of evidence found other than surveillance tying Riley to this area, and it puts him, or at least his belongings, very close to the water. Did Riley fall in the water and the card washed ashore? Did someone throw his belongings in the river and that washed ashore? There are just a lot of ways that it could have ended up there, but they haven't really released the state of the card, what their thoughts are on it. Authorities have only said that they're going to go back to this area to continue searching further. From my understanding,
Right. Okay. So we'll stop there, and yeah, we'll try and talk more, possibly, about this case next Wednesday. I think that might be quite a good idea. Now, what I'm going to do then, as this is, we just want to get the verdict on what's it called? Alec Baldwin.
The MRIR.
Oh, you know what he's trying to do now, though? He's trying to get
What?
the case dropped on, what's it called? On a violated rule in the book. He's disgusting. I'm sorry,
Shaking my head. Yeah.
but he's absolutely
Someone has passed away.
disgusting.
You think this is a game? Like we're just playing tit for tat or technicality? Like
I know. I just can't.
how this disrespectful to the family.
I know. Hang on. I'm just trying to find the right one to look at. This one. Right. Okay. As you can see, I watched some of this. Right. So, right. This is how
The
he's
way he
trying
was
to get.
waving.
Right. We
Sorry,
need
go
to
ahead.
We need to start by saying that she was found guilty, and she's now awaiting sentencing. If you look at, you haven't been watching the Alex stuff. Maybe I should. Yeah, isn't he? Isn't he? I hate him. Sorry, I just no. So this is the armorer that we discussed, I think, last week, on Wellness Wednesday, and she was found guilty. Now, Alec, in the meantime, is now trying to get the case dismissed. So let's just say,
Recently, the armorer on the set, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, was convicted of her own charge of involuntary manslaughter for the role that she played in this shooting. She's set to be sentenced on April 15th. She could face up to 18 months in prison. But now Alec Baldwin and his trial That trial's scheduled for July, and I want to give you a little recap on how we got here because it's important to talk about in the context of what we're about to get into. So, he was first charged with involuntary manslaughter back in January of 2023, and it also included a firearms enhancement charge, a specification that could have seen him be in prison up to 5 years if he was convicted. But the prosecution's firearm enhancement charge was actually based on a misapplication of the law, and so that was dismissed. The special prosecutor in this case and the DA both resigned due to conflicts. A new prosecutor was appointed. The charges were dropped, but then the involuntary manslaughter charge resurfaced yet again, and it was submitted to a grand jury, and Alec Baldwin was indicted in January of 2024. So a bit of a mess, to say the least, when it came to the prosecution of this case. But of course, there is the evidence. Now, we did a previous sidebar on some of the more potentially problematic pieces of evidence for Alec Baldwin that was presented in Hannah Gutierrez-Reed's trial, such as an expert stating that given the circumstances, the only way the gun could be fired is if Alec Baldwin pulled the trigger, which is something that Baldwin has denied doing. There was videos and testimony from the prosecution's witnesses allegedly showing that Baldwin was in charge, that he was rushing through the production.
He was literally trigger happy, wasn't he? Do you remember when we showed it last week, Edna? And he kept firing the gun.
Not only that, but he was just waving it all around as he was talking and directing, and she was trying to get people to move out the way of him just flailing the gun around. It was ridiculous.
Exactly. And what really annoys me about this case, and it's it's what happens. Look at OJ. Look at OJ Simpson. It seems that some people are literally untouchable. And I just think it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So when I saw this, I don't know if you can read it. It says Alec Baldwin demands Rust manslaughter case be tossed. He's going to go, and what he's saying is it violated every rule in the book. So his lawyers are going through word for word what is and isn't admissible in court. And so that means that they can, it's a mistrial. It's a mistrial before it's even been done.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting. In my opinion, it's disgusting. So,
I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised that they even brought up the charges because, the fact that they basically gave him a pass and they, he's probably kind of flabbergasted. You know what I mean? Like,
one rule for thee, I think, in that case.
Mm-hmm.
He honestly believes that he can get away with it. And the sad reality is he probably will. He probably will.
It's like he's annoyed that he has to even go through the song and dance of a trial,
Exactly. Never mind the fact that some young woman was killed in cold blood. And he was the one that pulled the trigger. You can't get away from that. Whether he tries to get away with it on all different types of technicalities, he committed manslaughter or involuntary manslaughter. He pulled the bloody trigger.
Pay attention during gun safety training sessions, that he would violate on-set gun protocols like firing after the director yelled cut. So some substantial arguments that could be made at his trial. Well, what happens if there's no trial? I say that because Alec Baldwin has just filed a motion to dismiss the grand jury indictment. His motion reads in part, quote, "The grand jury is our system's foundation for the protection of individuals' rights and a recognized method by which the public can be certain of protection against abuse of public responsibilities. The prosecutors obtained the indictment against Alec Baldwin by circumventing this fundamental protection over and over and over again." And I'm going to tell you right now that this motion raises a number of very interesting arguments that I want to go through. So let me bring in right now a very special guest. I am joined by criminal defense attorney Natalie Whittingham-Burrell to talk more about this. Natalie, so good to have you. Thanks for coming on.
And she's a very pretty girl, but I don't want to listen to all that. So basically, he's just going to try and get away with it. Honey, it's been an hour and a half, so I'm not going to go through it all now. But
I know. Sorry, Natalie girl. We're happy for you though. You look great.
yeah,
Yeah.
well done, darling. It's a beautiful girl. But yeah, he's gonna get away with it. He's gonna get away with it. It's all gonna be down to technicalities, and he's not even gonna have a day in court. And makes me sick. So
Yeah.
Bridge says, nah, it was stupid prosecution that got OJ off. Christopher Darden, who was on the prosecution, is actually running for judge in California. I saw his name on the ballot. Okay. Chris Darden is the one that wanted OJ to try on the glove. That's when Johnny said the infamous line, because it didn't fit. Okay.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah. So I just think it's a case of, he's just too big to judge, even though we've seen all the evidence. In a way, I'm glad that we've seen that evidence in the woman's trial, but I'm not glad that he's going to get away with it. I just think it's disgusting that he will get away with it.
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of the cards that those type of people are dealt in life. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought, yeah, it certainly does, darling. Money talks. It certainly does. So let's get out of here now. I think we've had quite a nice, well, nice isn't really the word. We've had quite an interesting chat today. It's always
I
nice
think
to
this
sort
has
of,
been nice.
yeah.
It's been nice.
Do you enjoy doing the true crime, Edna?
I do. This time is different, Jean. 6 p.m. Are we adjusting our Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday time?
Yeah, I mean, if it suits you better, this
does.
time is good for me. If we start at, I mean, it's 11 p.m. my time, but that's fine because I can, sort things out this end so that I can come on for, an hour and a half is probably long enough. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, if it's better for you, then I'm happy to do that. And also, also on Friday, I think we'll do for 11 o'clock at the earliest, because I know
So
most of you
same,
are in America.
yeah, same channel but different time.
Yep, absolutely. So Edna, I want to say thank you for coming up, darling. Always
Thanks for
lovely
having
to
me. Thank you, Chad. It's been wonderful. See you Friday. We're Drama Friday.
Drama Friday. Drama Friday. So thanks to everybody else for coming in, and of course my dear Edna. Even though we never agree on anything, it's always lovely to have her in here and also chat. You're always great, and it's nice, Hi, Random Fish. It's nice that we can sort of bounce things around, especially on something like true crime, because love it or hate it, it's there. And it's nice to hear other people's opinions as well, and to learn that mine are always different to everybody else's. But hey ho, and away we go. I'll see you on Friday. Okay. In the meantime, you take care of yourselves because it's a rotten old world. And till the next time, bye bye for now.